Good morning, everyone. I'm Meg Farris, and welcome back. This is part 4 of our week-long look at Mardi Gras safety tips with medical correspondent Dr. Hebert. You've been on the front lines in the ER. You've seen it all. Ladders, ladders, ladders. That is part of Mardi Gras. What I was surprised is that doctors I spoke with in the ER and EMS say children get injured and adults. So tell me, what have you seen?
Absolutely. So one of the worst things I've seen, when I walk up and I see kids in these ladders, it kind of freaks me out because I just don't like it because it's an accident waiting to happen. But especially when they're tied together, man, you know, they link them together. So just think about what happens, and I've seen this, a bunch of kids in ladders and they're all hooked together. Somebody comes behind because they fall down because they've been drinking too much, and then all the ladders get pushed forward. That means what's happening? Every kid's face is hitting the pavement. Mm-hmm. So that means what they have is a ridge fracture. So their teeth and their mandible and maxilla get crushed, and they get and you have to have surgery because of this. Okay, so if you want to keep your kids in the ladder, I'm not promoting that. I don't think it's a good idea, but if you're going to do that, you need to be standing next to that ladder the entire time, holding it. And you know how easily adults get distracted out there. So, and then even if that doesn't happen, if a kid stands up and falls out of the ladder, that's still 6 feet, 7 feet high, they're gonna hurt themselves.
Okay, well, let me play devil's advocate. I would think parents feel safer, that their child is safer in the ladder because they're not running around. I have 3 children younger than this age. Mm-hmm. They're all right there. They're not going to run in front of the float or the horse. So I would think they'd feel like they're safer. But
well, I think in that aspect they are. Mm-hmm. They are safer from being run over by a float, but they're not safer if nobody's paying attention and they're just sitting in the ladder or in that little bucket they have up there. You know,
Dr. Hebert, we've heard so much lately about human trafficking and all this, and this happens at Mardi Gras time.
Absolutely.
You've seen that?
Super Bowl, and Mardi Gras, when it's in New Orleans, the Super Bowl's in New Orleans, and obviously Mardi Gras. A lot of people come to this city and they're looking to abduct kids. They're looking to just, you know, it's time when nobody's really paying attention. And so children, if you have your children out there, there's nothing worse than seeing, when you see a parent crying because they can't find their child. And usually they find them, but sometimes they don't. So please, if you're gonna bring your children out to the parades, okay? Night parades is kind of questionable to bring them out anyway. I mean, have I done it? Yes. Have you done it? Sure. But if you do the day parades, try to do that mostly. And if you're gonna do a night parade, please just make sure you keep your kids close to you because you're not gonna be paying attention as much as you normally would, especially if you've had a few drinks and you just don't want anything really bad to happen.
Yeah, wow. See, I didn't even think about things like that. You think about the little cuts and scrapes and injuries and all, but not about people who want to do your child harm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, on that note, no, you have to make people aware.
I hate to be the bad guy here, but this is my reality.
This is prevention.
Yes.
This is prevention because you've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And we appreciate you joining us, and we'll have one more day of tips coming up tomorrow.